Cardiovascular system. So there are many different functions of the cardiovascular system, such as nutrient delivery, waste product removal, transport of oxygen, clotting, protection of infection, and thermoregulation, such as reducing the body temperature, including vasoconstriction and vasodilation. It is very important because it allows us to live free of disease and infections, and it also transports oxygen to the working organs that we need. So this is the circulatory system. It goes both sides. So you've got the lungs, the pulmonary vein, the left atrium, the bicuspid valve, the left ventricle, aortic valve, aorta, muscles, systemic vein, vena cava, right atrium, tricuspid, and the pulmonary artery and atrium, which receives the blood, and all of these go to the cardiovascular system. So the heart structure and function. So we've got the endocardium, which is the muscular wall of the heart, the epicardium, which covers the heart's outer surface and protection, pericardium, which is the membrane lining the pericardium cavity, the atria, which is the top of the heart, the bicuspid and tricuspid valves, chordae tendons, which prevents the backflow, the capillary muscles, which anchors the heart's valves, and the aortic valve, which is on the left side of the septum, and the pulmonary valve, which is on the right side. So the cardiac cycle. Cycle of the heart contracting and relaxing, where the blood is pumped around the heart and it's taken in. Contraction, which is the cardiac muscles movement cause stimulation. Relaxation, which is the resting phase, which allows the refill. The heartbeat is the pulsation of the heart. Systole is contraction phase of the chamber in the heart, and diastole is the relaxation phase. So the conduction system. The heart's regulating system, which is made out of specialised muscle tissues that causes action potential in the heart. This also causes the heart to beat. And you've got the SA node, which is the heart's natural pacemaker, down in the left atrium, and the AV node, which receives action potential from the SA node, which is found just above the ventricles. The bundle of hairs, which is a series of fibres located just below the AV node, pass the impulses from the AV node to the Purkinje fibres, and the Purkinje fibres located in the myocardium of the ventricles complete the ventricular contraction. So how the CF controls the CC. So first, oxygenated blood begins to fill the left atrium, deoxygenated in the right. This is called atrial distole, and it fills during relaxation. The pressure builds, so 70% of the blood pushes through the bicuspid valves and the tricuspid valves into the ventricles, and the oxygenated blood to the left ventricle, deoxygenated to the right, and this is known as ventricle diastole. So the remaining 30% needs to be pushed through as there isn't enough pressure. This is done by contraction and the SA node sends an impulse to the AV node, which is allowing the two valves to open, and the rest of the 30% of the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood goes into the ventricles. This is called atrial systole. While this is happening, the SA node keeps the pace of the impulse being sent as it allows time for refilling and contraction. This is why it's known as a pacemaker, and also an action point is that the noise of your heartbeat is the valve opening and closing. The filling is where there's no contraction, is passive filling. In the second phase, where there is contraction, is active filling. So part 2. So once 100% of the blood has been contracted through the valves and into the ventricles, it is ready to be pushed out of the heart. Firstly, the impulse from the AV is sent to the bundle of hairs. This wraps around the sternum of the heart, and the impulse is then passed to the Purkinje fibres. And then when in the Purkinje fibres, the impulse is passed on, it pushes deoxygenated and oxygenated blood up the valves. Oxygenated blood goes to the aortic valve, and deoxygenated goes to the pulmonary valve. The deoxygenated blood travels down to the muscles, and the oxygen is filled, the blood is filled with CO2 and travels up to the right side of deoxygenated blood. And then the deoxygenated blood travels up to the lungs where it gains oxygen, and this turns into oxygenated blood and travels down the left side, and it all starts again. So the autonomic influence on the cardiac cycle. So you've got the medulla oblongata, which is central, the control centre of the conduction system in the brain, and the cardiac control center, and this starts all cardiac muscle impulses. And the autonomic nervous system, which stimulates and controls muscle tissues, and then the cardiac control center and the autonomic nervous system control two different types of systems: the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. So the sympathetic nervous system increases the heart rate, and the cardiac control center sends an impulse to the sympathetic nervous system, and the impulse travels down the accelerator to the SA node. And just before it reaches the SA node, there's a release of a chemical in the norepinephrine ring, and this chemical causes the SA node to increase in tempo, increasing the heart rate. So the blood structures and functions: the erythrocytes, the RBC, carry oxygen around the body, and the leukocytes, the WBC, fights off infections. The platelets, which are clots, wounds, and cuts. The plasma, which transport blood cells and platelets. And the blood percentage is 55% plasma and 45% the leukocytes, erythrocytes, and platelets.